Welcome back. There's a lot of people who want to get involved, and if nothing else, we certainly, as much as we like to help people understand there are great professionals to work with, I just have a goal of helping people understand there are a lot of great networks to get involved with, and, whether it is something like the Michael Ryan Pattison Foundation, we've had other groups on here. Getting involved in the community is something that I think social media has given people no excuse not to do. You can find something that you are interested in, and anybody can give back these days. Paul Pukis is back with us, and well, how are you doing, Paul?
I'm great. Glad to be here.
It's good to see you.
Yeah, I'm happy to be
here. They
here.
can't see you out there, Paul, but you're here, and being a local business owner, you understand the giving back side of things.
Yeah, at Mosaic, we strive to do that. My business partner, Amy Drool, she's much more involved in different boards and stuff and doing fundraising activities than I am. That's stuff that she's very passionate about. Not to say that I'm not, but she's just much better at it. And she's involved in a lot of things. And then to have me follow MR here in his foundation, just like, man, it's fantastic. Stuff like that. That's a big scale stuff where we try and focus on things in our community and how we can give back into where our agency is and help those organizations that are close by.
And, I think this tails off of, you have such a desire to help your clients in ways that other insurance companies don't. I mean, writing in the book, Protect Yourself, is certainly one of those aspects where, you've given of yourself without any expectation of return. It sounds like you carry that over with Mosaic Insurance.
Yeah, I think that if that's the type of person you are, it really doesn't matter what business you're in, that's going to come through. I mean, Russ was talking about doing business with people that understand you and get you and you can work with. And that's who you need to find first. And then if they're good at what they do, then they'll help you be successful in whatever it is that you came to them with whatever problem it was or whatever solution you were hoping that they could help you find. And I think if you have that in your core, it doesn't matter if you end up being a nurse, a doctor, a financial planner, an investment advisor, an insurance agent, where I think that we are in an extremely noble profession of putting people in a great place after a tragedy. That's just in who you are. So you carry that through with whatever you do.
And so when you talk about being, in a noble profession with insurance, it carries a lot of weight when somebody actually has to use it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's maybe the part people forget is nobody wants insurance until they need it.
Yeah.
And, to be able to help people understand that, to take people from a place of not necessarily wanting, but knowing that you're there for them when they're in a place of need. I mean, in its own right is giving back to the individual customers. Granted, they are your customers, they're your clients,
mm-hmm.
but you have a great way of being able to give back in sometimes their toughest time.
Yeah. And what Russ does, I'll say no one wants to give any money for retirement today because they want to spend that money now. That's the same way with insurance. I mean, you got to look a little bit more in the future of how are you going to be affected if something tragic happens where you don't have the money to take care of it. Same thing that Russ does. If you want to put money away for retirement, that's maybe stopping you or limiting you from doing something you really want to do today, but it's looking forward into the future. And insurance just takes that to a level where, for a premium every month, you get the guarantee that your life is going to be restored to the best of our ability.
Do you think that when you start working with people and within a community that you have more of a vested interest to restore what you can,
mm-hmm.
Versus maybe a huge company that just tends to deny? You always hear the horror stories. Oh, we denied the coverage. We denied the coverage. We denied the coverage. When you work local or within a community, it's not just you giving back. I mean, you do give back,
mm-hmm.
but there's a little bit higher morale, I guess, or there's a higher standard you're kind of held to.
Well, I think now, just to make one point absolutely clear, it's not me paying the claims. It's the large insurance company that I believe they're all greedy for the most part. Okay, and I can say that because they want to get their premium to make sure they can pay claims. So they're greedy for a reason. They want to be able to help their clients. The difference is if there is a claim and you are a client of mine, I am standing right next to you in your biggest time of need when it comes to insurance, compared to being that employee for the insurance company that's looking to find a way to minimize that claim as much as possible. I'm standing next to you as your advocate to make sure that things go as smoothly as possible.
Would that be a reason right there, I mean, to work with somebody who is independent rather than straight out of the big companies?
I think so. You're right. I do. And I can say that because I used to be at one of the big companies. And nothing wrong about that, but there's only one company that's making sure that my family has food on the table and a roof over its head. That's a very different situation than when you work with an independent agent. They represent multiple companies. They're not employed by any one of them. And for that reason and that reason alone, they stand next to you when you need them, not on the other side of the line with the insurance company.
So I guess that would make sense because as you said, the insurance companies are greedy. I don't know if there's anybody listening that wouldn't say insurance companies are not greedy, or a lot of other companies, but we won't go there. But, sometimes the person who's supposed to be representing you isn't even on the right side. They're not even on the right side of the line. I mean, they're not even on the right team.
Yeah, and that makes things difficult.
Trying to get money that essentially you deserve.
Well, and that's where I think the insurance industry has gotten the bad rap is people, anytime a bad situation comes up, that's what gets publicized more often than the good situations of how things turn out. You normally don't hear in social media or on the news that someone received more money for their totaled vehicle than they thought they would get, although I know it happens on a regular basis. I've had conversation with clients, man, I didn't think my car was worth that much. But you don't hear that.
Tell them to tweet it.
Yeah, they should. So there's good things that go on all the time in that type of stuff. But it's just stuff you don't hear about. And there's the small independent agent like myself that's trying to give the insurance industry a great name because I do believe this is a noble profession. It's one that will return people to the way they were before the accident. And there's not a whole lot of industries out there that do that.
So when somebody has wants to get more and wants to get insurance, I guess it's kind of a give. It seems to me like a win-win situation when somebody wants to work with somebody who's involved in the community because, if you look at some of the places that have been just decimated, like say at Joplin, Missouri, or, where some of these tornadoes have come through, somebody who is involved in the community, who lives in the community, who works in the community, really understands what's going on and can be there.
Yeah. You hit the nail on the head with that. You're going to have people that understand what's going on. And plus, any of those big companies specifically, they're not going to invest a dime in your neighborhood. But a local agent, a local independent agent is. They go to the stores in the same places. They're putting money back into the same local economy that you're a part of. So by supporting your local independent agents, you're in fact supporting your own local economy because we are all going to spend money at the same places. The big companies with the 800 numbers that you call directly, let me know if anyone out there has seen them walking around buying groceries, at the same store.
Yeah, they're probably not.
So
we're here with Paul Pukis, Mosaic Insurance Alliance. Paul, we have to go to break, but just real quick, you make an interesting point also that we hadn't really hit on is you end up being a part of a financial community as well. And it's like kind of the working with local people that I think people forget. There's an investment to be made by working with local people versus just trying to save the most money possible. I mean,
yeah, and that's not necessarily to say that we can't help people save money. In most situations, we absolutely do because we care enough about the clients to take a look at so many different options that an analogy I've used before is when you go with a company that only sells one product, you have one cookie cutter. When I open up my drawer at my desk, I have over 70 different cookie cutters to choose from to find the one that's going to work best for you. Now, it takes a lot of time and effort on our part at Mosaic to put you in each one of those cookie cutters to see which one makes sense. And But when we do that, we normally come out ahead. We normally do.
Well, nobody likes to be cut by one cookie cutter, but, if you have lots to choose from, I guess you can at least pick your shape.
Yeah, that's right. You can pick different designs and make your own cookie.
Well, Paul, thanks so much for joining us. When we come back, Heather is going to drop chocolate chips. She's going to drop questions on us like people drop chocolate chips in their cookies. We'll be right back after this break.